Any compass is a measurement compass.
Yes, that's true.
Well, okay, but it's not a nice one.
Are we making an equilateral triangle? I love those things.
So when you're first asked to make an equilateral triangle, you might be tempted to say, oh, let me grab my ruler and measure how long the length of this edge is. The problem is to angle your second edge perfectly to allow your third edge to be that equal length. You don't need well, you could use a protractor, but if we don't have a protractor because that tool wasn't invented yet, a compass will do everything we need. So what we're going to do is take the length from A to B and lock it in. So adjust your compass, and if your compass feels loose, I have screwdrivers over here.
You totally lied.
What?
You didn't tell me the right way to adjust it. You didn't tell me you could just pull it up under.
No, but like if you want your pencil.
Well, that part doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. I made my thing. I just need
The
to make it.
pencil's there. You don't need to like change it to a new pencil. Oh, I see.
Eventually, we don't have to draw the entire arcs, and you don't even have to draw the entire arc right now if you don't want
really
to.
know how to use a compass. Like,
I'm
So-
proud of mine.
If you guys would stop talking over me, I might have some advice to share. When we're using a compass, this screw at the top is the thing that keeps it tight. If your compass comes loose, tighten that screw. We are going to peg both ends. And guys, I gave you the dangerous compasses that have the really pointy like metal tips because they're easier to work with.
Yeah.
Here's some advice. When you go to do your arc, if you lay down a little bit and just kind of rotate your paper with it, it'll be nicer because it's easier to just leave like your compass kind of how it is and move your paper. Then do the same thing from the other direction, which with me, because I'm like super duper right-handed, it's kind of difficult for me to flip directions. So I again move my paper around, right? I again am moving my paper around.
And then you make a point with it, intersect and get it straight in.
What is it called when we have two lines or more than two lines that meet in a point? Well, yeah, but there's a fancier name for it. It's a point of...
Intersection.
Nope. Ooh, look, I have something to teach you guys. It's called the point of concurrency, where
Oh,
things
yeah.
happen together. They're concurrent. So this is our point of concurrency. And we can connect.
And then you delete all the other.
We don't really need
You
to.
don't have to.
Well, it's not equilateral triangle.
Excuse me, we can leave the leftovers from construction.
Yeah, it's like building a building and then leaving your like, I don't know, extra
Did you
bricks.
guys finish your ELA one? Your ELA math test?
Yeah.
Did you not finish?
No!
Dude, that math test was easy.
Yeah.
They're like
Whoa,
half
bad
hours.
word.
Okay, it was easy to finish quickly. There were half as many questions.
I got all of them right, I think.
That's not how it
I
works.
definitely didn't get all of them right, but I
felt
finished the
certain about
test.
all of my answers, and I never felt that way on a math test.
I know
Did you get 300?
the math
No.
felt so much easier than.
I think it's scored differently because I always.
I assume you guys already constructed your median since you're talking about not math.
Median?
There's a second part.
Oh, it's the point in the middle.
Man,
Oh.
maybe, since we don't know all the stuff that Mr. Hudson has to teach you, we might want to stay focused for a few minutes.
How do we determine the point? Oh, no, I don't like this.
Play with it for a second. I'm going to see if you can figure it out on your own, because you guys have more and more been acting like you don't need me. And you honestly may not need me. How can we use just our compass? Oh, you don't have a ruler. You don't have a ruler. You only have a compass.
Oh, it's just a straight
Jake, you don't have a ruler. You don't have a ruler.
This is just a straight edge. It's
No,
not-
you don't even have a straight edge right now. You only have a compass. Yeah. You only have a compass. I only grabbed this to draw straight lines. The only reason I put rulers in front of you is to help you draw straight lines. How can I use only my compass to find the midpoint
Why not
of
trial
AB?
and error way to do it?
What do you mean?
You can put a point in any place and then make a circle and see if
I don't
it's a
know.
You're silly.
Wow. That hurts my
You
feelings.
know.
Good.
Dang.
I would like you guys to recalibrate and act like an honors class instead of acting like the regular what you would expect from people saying, oh, well, forget trying to actually brainstorm. I'm just going to throw out some kind of like ho-hum ideas that I know are not what we're actually doing.
Well, I don't know. I was just trying to say that that's one thing that could work, and maybe we could build something off of that works.
Could that really work? Do you think with the amount of accuracy?
Yes. Would it work well? No. Would it take forever? Yeah. But like, eventually.
So we just made an arc from A and an arc from B that connected and told us, and like, that told us these were equal, and if we could drop a line straight perfectly down from here, we're assuming that this point is probably the would fall to the midpoint if we had a perfect altitude.
I have a question.
I wonder if another 2 arcs could help us out. Try this. Take your compass, make it less than the size of AB, but more than what you think is half the length. Make it some length between 1/2 of AB and all of AB. Jake, you with me? I'm also just concerned at how I see you like pressing your compass down, because that's going to set up it to either open up or just fall over or whatever. So with your compass, the reason it's got this little part on the end is so you can hold it like this and just essentially arc it and be gentle with it. You don't want to be trying to be super forceful. So if I go to make another arc from B, but it's not the whole length of all the way to A, right? So we made that arc. We had that arc. Actually, wait a minute. I got an idea. Let's go back to the original thing that we did, but just make these circles complete. So I had this.
I already did that.
Oh, you already made complete circles?
I
Okay,
made one
cool.
complete circle, and that shape called me silly.
I did not call you silly. I just said I made an equilateral triangle. Well, you just made a circle.
I made an equilateral triangle.
So if we make complete circles from A and from B,
From like the whole entire segment.
I think I can make 2 equilateral triangles then.
Oh, I'm silly. I know how to do it.
I think I figured it out, but I don't know if
Yeah,
that's right.
I know how to do it now.
Well, how you can make. I'm behind, okay? You guys are fine.
I also learned this from that textbook that you think I paid for.
You paid for it.
I did not, but okay.
Triangle constructions are when we start to draw fun things that sort of look like Illuminati or whatever else.
Diagram!
Apparently an equilateral triangle is the intersection of the Venn diagram. So I could draw another, what we said is probably going to be an equilateral triangle.
Wait, so
Or
then
you
you
can
can,
just use the point where the 2 circles intersect.
yeah, you can just do that, and then boom, you get a midpoint.
Yeah, you get a median. And also it looks like a deathly hallows.
What do you mean I could
You're
just
right,
use the
it
point?
does.
What do you mean I could just use the point where
right,
this?
So yeah, that, and then
Like, how dare
the
you make
bottom
it
part where the
Oh, and then this.
yeah, and then you just
And
go,
do what?
Then you use a straight edge unless we don't have a now.
Oh, you have a straight edge. You just don't have a ruler.
But you said we didn't
You
have
said you didn't have a straight
Don't tell me what I said.
Okay, so what you could have done is you could have done what you said, like take the little less thingamajiggy of the segment and then do it, and
Watch. Exactly what Akshay is saying. If you have a compass and you want to find a midpoint, Jake, Connor, stick with me. Quit like going down the deep dark rabbit hole. No, you don't have to. Watch. I'm going to show you the easier way. If you make it bigger than half and make an arc that goes at least where you would imagine the median to be, right? So I don't need the whole circle. I just need the arc. And then keep your compass the same size. And if you lose your size, you can go back and reset it. But then do the same thing from A. Again, compass is easier if you hold it from the top. So I'm holding it from the top and just kind of guiding it. And this connecting line between these 2 points will be bisecting your AB. Because if we did a distance Z over here
Yeah, okay, yeah.
and a distance Z over here, then we averaged them. That's what this overlap and connection does. So you don't need these whole big circles. You just need a couple little arcs to make your midpoint and your median.
The point of the bottom triangle is so that you can get that middle line like that.
This bottom triangle is unnecessary.
Oh.
But we could do that, and that would create a midpoint. However, we don't need to do that because we can just use these 2 points here and here, and I don't need up here and way down there. I still need up here for the equilateral triangle, but I don't need the way down here.
Wait, but how do you know that that's the midpoint on the top from the top in all of the directions?
Because it's no. It's
How do I know this is the midpoint of AB?
No, that one I get. How do you know that like that new midpoint you drew is the midpoint of the triangle?
This?
No, the one above it.
This?
Yeah.
That's nothing. It's just a point that it's a construction point. It's a construction point. So this would actually, like, if I'm just trying to create an isosceles triangle, if I connect here to A and here to B, those should be equal lengths. But that doesn't really matter because what I care is that from here to here is a straight line, and this distance from B to this arc and this distance from A to that arc are equal. So these distances here would be equal, meaning that when I look at their points of concurrency, that straight line is going to create a midpoint. And we could write out a mathematical proof for why this works.
Oh, so this is how you make the midpoint
Of
You're
anything.
not going to use two triangles. Okay.
Watch. Midpoint of anything. Okay. Back of my notebook here. Line. Doesn't even matter if it's a triangle. Hypothetically, more than half. And my top arc got a
If
look
it was
goofy.
less than half, it went arc back.
Exactly. So then, connect this to here.
Okay.
That's the midpoint.
Okay.
Any line that'll work with just a compass.
Okay, we were trying to find the midpoint of the line.
Yeah, AB.
I thought, oh, I thought we were trying to find the midpoint like of the triangle.
No, but I mean, we could. So, if we do this again, except make sure you're holding your compass right, we could start to get a really fun looking drawing.
Oh boy, oh boy.
And actually, from one point, I can arc out for the whole thing. So from B. And then from A. So then from intersection to intersection here, from intersection to intersection here, and check it.
Huh?
Whoa, now you kind of. Oh.
How?
See, now it looks nothing like the deadly line.
It looks like a fractal.
That's not.
Looks like the Triforce.
It is the triangle.
By the power of friendship. What? New equilateral triangle made from the
Wow.
midpoints of the triangle.
Triforce.
Yeah, Triforce. Woo. All right, does this make sense? How we can find midpoints?
It
Arc.
also looks like that one
Wait.
symbol of Dormammu on that one book.
Wait,
Don't.
I made like a.
Oh.
In Doctor Strange.
I tried to
Yeah.
do like, you know how you find the
Like the white
midpoint?
circles.
But I tried to do it from all
Hey, guys. You're loud enough I can't hear Connor asking the actual math question. It's not an issue until you get so loud that I literally can't hear the only other student in the class. Connor, sorry, what now?
So, like, I tried to do it with all three sides of the triangle, and it made like an upside down triangle.
Like this?
Or no, a right side up triangle, like in the middle. Is that right, or did I do this?
I don't know, it depends if you did all the arcs that you
Like I took the
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, that's just where you didn't draw your arcs long enough to connect those points. Because there should be, this should continue down here, continue down here, and these connected make the midpoint. So you're not fully following my directions, so I don't know if you're making up your own rules or what's going on.
I thought, okay.
You want me to do it again, or you good?
No, I understand how it works, yeah.
Now my shape is
And actually, if you do, nah, I won't go that deep right now. All right, so altitude of MJR. So I want to give you guys a second to try to figure this out since I already taught you some construction tricks. How could we make something that we know is an altitude? And I don't know if I want to erase this extra stuff or not. It looks kind of cool. From, like, tell us where to plant our point, how to open our compass.
Plant your point at R.
All right, so
pointing first.
point at R.
And then put the pencil on M.
Okay,
And make a complete circle.
make a complete circle. So RM.
Just make most of the circle.
So semicircle? You know what? I don't care. Oh, look, I already did that.
I think this is close. It might not be exactly correct, but I think this is close. And then,
MJ.
okay. Plant the point on the place where the circle you just made intersects RJ. And then put the pencil on M. And then make an arc going the opposite way until it hits the circle you made.
Wait,
So you said plant the point here.
Yeah. And pencil that in and make an arc going the other way until you hit the circle again.
Man, this should have actually hit R, right? If I did this right. I think, if our compass is correct. Well, wouldn't this R, M?
What are we doing?
is this
So Jake said plant at R, circle around from M.
I got that part.
And I think my compass got a little goofy, like I didn't keep it locked. Then Jake said put this here. Huh?
It doesn't intersect R. You did it right.
Wait, so it's not R and L.
And then you draw a point from where it
Wait.
from where the two arcs intersect.
Wait, so Jake, you're taking it from
Yeah.
that point to M?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that shouldn't intersect R.
If things stayed locked in how they should, which
No, it shouldn't. Unless R and M are the same distance.
guys, let's think this through mathematically. Give me your eyes up here for a second. If this is RM and I make a circle using RM
Then it
as
should
the
be-
radius,
Yeah, then it should.
shouldn't when I flip this over that still be RM?
Yeah, but I don't think that's the one from M to
Oh,
the other thing.
I see what Mr. Hudson is saying. Yes.
Oh, you're saying match this
Yeah,
with
so that would
M?
intersect.
You're saying this is not the same as what that was.
No, match that with M.
Ah. So wait, should I have this to R or this to M?
It's going to. It would go to M.
We sure?
I think so.
Well, if that's a different size though,
Yeah, it would go to M.
is that going to preserve what we want it to?
Yes, because it's reflecting it essentially. It's doing a reflection. It's essentially reflecting the triangle into that. It's reflecting M over.
For sure.
I'm fairly certain.
I don't like fairly certain.
So you're,
I think that this arc is
so you're reflecting
reflecting
M over RJ. Yes, I comprehend.
And then draw a point from M prime to M. And draw a line from M prime to M.
See, I I could try something else, but my paper looks really messy now, so I can't tell which is which.
Draw a line from. Oh! But how do you know that it's the right count? How do you know it's the right count? That's my question. It looks
Well,
like
let's measure it.
yeah, yeah.
If the
So
distance from M prime to RJ is the same as the distance from RJ to M, which it is. So yeah,
Okay, that's
it's
true.
perpendicularly bisected.
So you made like a kite.
Yeah, we basically made a kite.
I mean, it just doesn't look perpendicular on mine.
But we never trust what it looks like.
That's true.
I don't know about that.
Okay, we should trust what it looks like when we are using mathematical instruments and not a textbook.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Here comes sharpen. Hi, sharpen my pencil.
Absolutely.
Can I have a new paper?
No, I knew I should have copied these like two-sided or something so you could try it multiple times.
Yeah, because my paper looks messy.
So wait, what is an altitude?
Altitude is something that makes a 90-degree angle. I
And
don't know if that
did
really-
this...
A median
Hey,
is
Jake.
something
Rein it in, bud.
that's in the middle of a segment, line segment.
So we created a median here.
Yes.
And that median ended up perpendicular because this is an equilateral triangle.
Yes.
Would every median, like from the opposite vertex to the midpoint, would every median be perpendicular
Wait.
of any triangle?
Wait. Say
That
that
has
again.
to be isosceles.
Can you say it again?
Would any median, so let's take this triangle. If I look at RJ,
Any triangle, no.
ah,
An
well,
isosceles triangle. Wait, no, equilateral.
so only in an equilateral triangle
Because isn't
will the
this-
median be perpendicular.
No, there's reason.
But that's not what Jake did.
Cause isn't it like if you? I can't remember it now.
So guys, what I'm trying to gently push you towards, what Jake did has an issue. There's a problem with what Jake did. Huh?
Because isn't the altitude supposed to be on the outside because it's scaling? Because it was something like
Could I create an equilateral triangle down here?
Good.
Sure.
Yes, you could.
Jake almost did it for us.
You have another giant eraser?
You have to take
Yeah.
RM.
Can I have one? I kind of don't.
Wow. I caught that so great. Here, I'll pass it to you.
Sorry. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Jake, you need an eraser?
Sure.
Hatchet.
These are nice art erasers. Oh snap! You guys are
I feel like I'm
athletes.
just bad.
No, they had actually decent tossing to you was weird. My arm was awkward.
Well,
So, guys,
okay, but
If I lock in MR, RM, whatever you want to call it, lock in that length. I'm going to go this way because it feels easier to arc. If this is RM, this is also RM. Yeah? Maybe?
I don't know, that's an isosceles triangle, though. Not necessarily an equilateral one. Oh, but if we...
Crap, so yeah, what you're saying is to make an equilateral triangle, I'd have to move my point out to like here. Because if I make two RM arcs, they meet out there. Crap. So we said, if I'm trying to help you, but without giving it away. I'm going to erase these for a second. Look up here for a second. If I wanted to find the midpoint of RJ, I do that whole like slightly more than half, and I arc with that, right? But I don't want the midpoint of RJ. I want where this will drop perpendicularly.
I still don't get what was wrong with Jake's thing.
I just messed something
That's
up.
what I'm confused about.
I know I messed something up. I don't know
Because
what.
I feel like Jake's thing should have worked.
Yeah, on paper it was good. Well, no, it wasn't because this is paper, but you know.
I mean, it didn't look perpendicular at least. Like,
It did. Oh, okay. You're the math teacher, I guess you know more.
Okay, wait. Oh no, now it's getting off my paper now.
Unless we can prove it.
Now it's off my paper. And now
Well, okay, so Mr. Hudson, why wouldn't making an arc from RM work? Because, like, you make an arc from RM where it intersects with the. Oh, wait. But yeah, you make an arc from RM, and then where that intersects with the line, you make a line from M to that point, and then where those intersect at the bottom should just be M flipped across that line in the middle between R and the other point. Right?
so what's tricky about this is the type of triangle that we have here.
isn't it a scaling triangle? So wouldn't the altitude be outside of the triangle?
It doesn't matter.
That's not how altitudes work.
Really?
That's only in a triangle that's like this.
That's only in a weird triangle. Right? No, there is no triangle where you can never put an altitude on the inside. Jake, can you show me the triangle?
It's like if you wanted to do it like this.
Well, okay, there is a way to do it, but there is always a way to make it inside of the triangle. Like this triangle, yeah.
If I do
Wait.
something slightly less than MR,
Oh wait, I have an idea. Yeah, that's a good idea actually. Wait, no, it raises the same issue.
if I do something slightly, I mean, actually, I don't know, I can probably do it the size of MR, like we did the first time. So I've essentially hit RJ in two places. I hit at R, but then I also hit over here. Right, so this is the one that Jake was saying, use this. But use this how?
Make another circle.
Okay, what do we do after that?
Make a circle that intersects with M. Like, with M as on the outside of the circle. And then you flipped M across RJ. You reflected it.
So if I draw this line, hypothesize this with me. This should be equal length to MR, right? Because they're radius of the circle.
No. Wait, yeah.
Didn't I make M the center of my circle?
Yes. Okay.
So this would be equal length to this. So I've made an isosceles triangle. Wait a minute. We said this worked up here because it was an equilateral triangle. And these two legs are what we cared about,
Exactly.
making those circles.
So then technically you could do that.
Guys, it's the same trick again.
See, look at me. I'm so smart.
I think Jake said that like 30 minutes ago.
I also think you said that.
It's the slightly more than half, and maybe I misheard, but it doesn't matter if it's to M or R. Neither of those points matter now for length. All that matters is that this arc that I make is preserved size to this arc.
Oh yeah, we're silly.
Okay. See, I have a hole now in my M because I put
what you'll see if you research this is we only really care about this out here. But if we want verification that we did it right, it should go through the other point in the middle of our triangle as well. So this, hitting through both of those points, that verifies for us that this is going to be perpendicular.
Finally did it. See, that looks exactly like Jake's though, but
Yeah, it does.
I could have been wrong, but I'm pretty sure with what I heard Jake say, there was an error.
What was
But-
there?
I don't know.
That the lengths that we were using, and maybe it probably did work. I was probably wrong. Whatever you guys can call it, come at me. It's totally fine. You know, attack me on socials or whatever. Isn't that when people at people? I don't know. And I have friends that on their podcast say don't at us, like at us, like whatever, or you know, at Todd, at
What's
like
their
whatever,
podcast
nerdy things, but they say swear words. So,
about? No, it's just a
so
podcast with swear words.
what we did,
I was into Eminem.
what we did, we made a circle centered at M. Because, so, here's where what Jake had me do I thought was incorrect. This, what we created now, has circle centered at M. What I had when Jake told me what to do, I had my circle centered at R, and maybe I did it wrong. Like maybe Jake said to do it the right way, and I just did it the wrong way. But we want to center our, excuse me, our circle at whatever point we're trying to be in altitude with.
Yeah, what Jake was doing was different from this, but he did the circle at M, and then he did one at that intersection point to basically like flip M onto the other side at the same distance, and then drew a line. So like reflects M, and then draw a line from M to the new M.
To here?
Like, basically he reflected M across JR, and then he drew a line from M to the new M.
I made an angle bisector.
That's nice.
Of P, angle P. I think I did it.
Angle P.
Yeah, that's the next page. What? Did you?
Yeah, I mean, that way might also work.
Yeah, I think mine worked.
I thought you said that there was a problem.
I thought there was because he said there was.
Well, I thought there was because it wasn't the way I was going to guide you guys to. But what Connor's arguing to make Jake's point is if we construct this circle centered at R, which was what we had done initially, except I keep kind of moving on my paper. My point won't stay pointed. Oh my gosh. And then I think what Connor just said was we do another circle to get M down to here.
Yeah, centered at point K using point M.
Centered at point K using point M. But point K is in a different place now. My circle from R.
Or yeah, not point K. The new point that where that circle around R intersects.
See, this is where I'm concerned that will this end up the right way. So you're saying put my point on here?
Distance from M, right?
This is not the same distance from M.
No, but it's the same distance from M from the distance it will be from the new M. Because they're both on the same circle.
Okay, so you're saying lock from here to M, and then bring it down to our circle.
Yeah.
So this we're calling like M prime.
Yeah, that's what Jake called it. Yeah. And then you draw a line between the two of those. Which is exactly on the same line.
All right, well, apparently there's another construction. Look, a different way to get to Florida. This is not the way my MapQuest told me, but hey, look, you guys are smarter than me.
MapQuest?
I know, I'm trying to reference something that is dead now.
Wait, isn't that like an old video game?
No, MapQuest was the website before everyone used Google Maps. People would use MapQuest to find their directions to get where they're trying to go. All right, smarty pants, then I guess I should probably just shut up and let you guys figure it out without me. Do the angle bisector of angle P.
I think I should have already did
I also need to figure out what I'm doing in Math 8.
How did you do it?
I don't know. I saw this on the book.
Oh, wait.
I think I
Wait
picked
a
it.
second.
Literally,
This is easy. I didn't say a word. I didn't speak English. No habla inglés.
Did you guys like that activity you did out there from Miss Gafford? Because it looked kind of fun.
No, Spanish is boring.
Say that in Espanol.
Español es cansado.
Let's just say Spanish is sleepy.
Uh-huh. Is that weird?
I
I
made
think
it.
the hardest part of this activity is just like using the compass, you know?
I don't even know if that's.
Good thing we have digital compasses that we can use eventually.
Is this an angle bisector?
I don't know.
I don't know if it is.
Get good and learn the definition of an angle bisector. It's
silly.
Yeah. That's something else. I don't know what that is, but this.
I don't know. How'd you do it?
I don't know.
Well, if you don't know how you did it, how are you supposed to tell somebody how to do
I
it?
done did it. Guys, it's not hard. I'm just being mean.
Emo?
I said mean.
Where did you
Oh, I
get
thought
this?
you said me. I'm just being.
Oh, hey, look, mine looks exactly like that.
Oh, okay. Jake, are you smart?
He's making a big circle.
I made a circle.
You made a circle. That's an orthocenter. No, it's
That's
not.
a circle.
What's the one that's cool with the circle around the object, the triangle? What's that one?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is that orthocenter?
No, that's when the triangle
So,
is.
Akshaya, what did you do?
I don't remember.
Tell me what to
can tell
do.
you.
Okay.
I did the same thing.
Connor, what'd you do?
You put your point on point X.
Put your point on X. Okay.
Now do this the like slightly over middle trick
Slight-
between X and no, not P, not P.
Okay.
The other one. Yeah, R.
The other one.
Okay.
Do that trick to get the midpoint of X and R.
The mid. Oh, so you're gonna use midpoint to do bisector?
Yeah, and then because I don't know, hinge theorem. I want to say that's probably not right because it's like the midpoint of the line. It's gotta be the midpoint of the.
Is your camera being held by a plastic bag in a?
No, it's string. It's just blue string.
And then,
You guys all might want to get checked for attention deficit.
I don't know.
This class is literally the most like bounce around topics that I've ever taught, and there are only 3 of you.
Yeah, and then you just do that, and then it's a bisector.
Look at that.
I'm a bisector.
I have no idea what that meant, but okay.
You don't get my reference. Well, if I sung the next line of the song, I'd
So,
probably get kicked from school.
We're sure that the midpoint creates angle bisector. Because it doesn't create similar triangles. I mean, obviously.
Well, yeah, because that angle is way different from that angle.
Okay.
But, like, it should. I don't see any reason why it would, you know?
Alright, well then, now make an altitude for P. See if you remember how to do that.
Altitude for P.
Yeah, you should start to kind of like, oh, wait a minute.
Stop.
Wait, what do you mean altitude for P? Like take P to line XR?
Make it
Mhm.
At a right angle.
Ooh, at a right angle.
Oh, hey, look, it looks like it's going to be the same thing as the last
It looks like it's what Akshay was talking about earlier.
one.
I didn't say anything. It looks like words. Dude, English. Dude, no habla. English.
4K.
Muy estúpido.
Oh, are we out of time?
Shillings.
Oh, there's people in there. Okay.
So my next challenge for you is going to be, what if you don't have XR? What if you only have an angle, and you have to construct an angle
That's
bisector?
what I was trying to do. but
Like if you're just given
Like you've got rays extending out. So, like boom, Boom, construct this angle bisector. How could we do that?
You make a triangle.
Do we
No.
have
So
to?
you know it's an
Oh, I did
isosceles
that.
triangle.
Yeah, I
We
tried
do
to-
not have to do that.
Okay.
Wait, what
You
do
could, but you don't have to.
You just make the bend
Alright, we're gonna have to pick these up tomorrow. Don't worry, this is meant to take 2 days. So do half the homework tonight,